Welcome, dear friends, to a journey through history, a tale of a battle that raged for nearly 1,000 years, a battle for the hearts of the Israelite nation. This was not a mere clash of armies, but a profound struggle between faith and superstition, loyalty and sensual indulgence. It was the relentless conflict between the worship of Baal and the worship of God. Before we delve into the intricacies of this spiritual war, let's invite you to join our community and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll receive regular updates and insights that will enrich your spiritual journey. Now, back to the heart of the matter. Would the nation of Israel remain faithful to the true God who delivered them from Egypt, or would they be enticed by the promises of Baal, the favored god of Canaan, who claimed to make the land fertile? This ancient struggle carries a timeless message for us today. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "These things were written for a warning to us, upon whom the ends of the systems of things have arrived." 1 Corinthians 10:11. To truly grasp the significance of this historic conflict, let's explore who Baal was and what Baal worship entailed. The Israelites encountered Baal when they entered Canaan around 1473 BCE. Baal, though not the supreme god of the Canaanite pantheon, held a paramount position. He was believed to control elements like rain, wind, and clouds, crucial for the prosperity of the land. Baal worship, however, was not merely a set of rituals. It pulsated with sexual rites. Sacred pillars and poles representing male and female elements carried sexual connotations. Temple prostitution and even child sacrifice were part of these abhorrent practices. The appeal of Baal worship lay not only in the desire for fertility, but also in the glorification of sensuality through feasting, dancing, and music. Why did Baal manage to seduce the hearts of the Israelites? Perhaps some were drawn to a religion demanding less commitment, sparing them from observing the strict law of God. Material prosperity and the alluring settings of Canaanite shrines with their fertility rites further enticed the Israelites away from true worship. Baal worship also offered an escape from the demands of God's laws. The sensual practices went beyond agricultural concerns, glorifying sex in a way that appealed to fleshly desires. The worshippers engaged in fertility dances around phallic pillars and sacred poles, accompanied by music, creating an atmosphere ripe for licentious behavior. Yet, as the Israelites succumbed to these temptations, they walked by sight, not by faith. Fear, fueled by a loss of faith in God, led them into the abyss of Baal worship. The Canaanite influence encouraged spiritism, involving rites of depravity, severing the Israelites from their God. The battle for their hearts persisted for centuries, with periods of loyalty to God interspersed with lapses into Baal worship. Despite military defeats and the influence of pagan neighbors, faithful leaders like Gideon and Samuel urged the Israelites to turn back to God. Prophets like Elijah and Elisha, along with kings like Josiah, fought against the tide of Baal worship. In the end, the worship of Baal ceased after the Jews returned from exile in Babylon. Like those at Ezra 6:21, they separated themselves from the uncleanness of the nations of the land to search for Jehovah, the God of Israel. While the worship of Baal may be a relic of the past, the glorification of sex remains a common thread between Canaanite religion and our contemporary society. The unseen power of Satan continues to promote sexual immorality, seeking to enslave people spiritually. In our permissive society, the temptation is not framed as a fertility rite, but as a pursuit of personal fulfillment. The warning from the worship of Baal resonates today. Immorality saturates our culture through entertainment, music, and advertising. Even God's servants are not immune, as evidenced by disfellowshipped individuals who succumb to these practices. Christians must continually repudiate immoral suggestions to remain chaste. Young witnesses especially face exposure to dangers packaged with sex. They must resist the influence of peers urging them towards immorality. The battle for purity demands maturity and the ability to say no to sensually attractive but morally harmful choices. As in ancient times, the enticements of the world can lead to spiritual defeat. We must emulate Moses, steadfastly seeing the invisible, and put up a hard fight for our faith. By remaining loyal to God and His principles, we can anticipate the ultimate victory of true worship over the allure of false gods. In closing, let us ponder the lessons from the worship of Baal. The battle for our hearts is ongoing. Will we remain loyal to God or be swayed by the loose living of this world? Just as the Israelites were drawn to disgusting Canaanite practices, some Christians today are enticed into shameful acts. Holding fast to our integrity, we can look forward to the time when false worship will vanish and the earth will be filled with the knowledge of God.